Hello, hello, hello. See Joe. See Mr. Brasil, Mr. Worldwide himself, Troy Daniel. Never know where he's at, but he's here. You never know where he's at. You got to call him on WhatsApp. My man's here. See Mr. Nolan. See Mr. Hayden. You think we're on that Ben's related to Christopher any way possible? Ben, that'd be so cool. Nolan, get it?
Ah,
Nolan.
I got it. I was thinking Jackson when you said Ben, but oh, for sure. See, here's the thing, Benjamin. He's already seen champs. He's just inverted, just inverted. Benjamin, have you seen Tenet yet?
So what?
Have you seen Tenet by Christopher Nolan?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you seen any of his movies? Inception, Interstellar?
Um, I don't know. I don't watch a
Okay,
lot of movies, to be honest.
gotcha. No problem.
Benjamin, we're removing your last name until you do. You are now just Benjamin.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Either way, Christopher Nolan, he's one of our Ron and I's favorite directors. But so you
Hmm.
got to watch that. But anyways, guys, welcome to Champs Club. I'm excited to introduce someone that I don't get a chance to talk to all the time. Obviously, I'm kidding. Guys, this is Mr. Christian Hogg. He's going to be talking about how to have just a closer mentality, right? Guys, a little bit about Christian. Started on his a little over 10 months ago. And I believe Christian, I said in the video, but I believe it's eight no sales to date, maybe nine.
It's
You know,
a it's seven and then one that I walked out on. So
seven, one that you walked out on. So categorize it as you will. And he's going to dive into this. But one thing I just want you guys to understand and with Christian is, Joe, whenever sometimes I always love when I work with a new representative. Joe, there was like, oh yeah. I'm like, how was your demo? They're like, oh, it was really, really good. It was really good. I'm like, awesome. What'd you sell? They're like, oh, I didn't sell anything. Well, how many recommendations did you get? They're like, oh, like I got one. I'm like, how is that a good demo? That's like if Rafa Jones were to play tennis, and this doesn't happen to Mr. Jones, by the way, because he's nice like that. But that's like if Ron were to play a tennis match and lose 0-0. That is not a good tennis match, right? And one thing, guys, I'll say that I love about Christian is when he gets a no sale, like he's like he needs a second to recover. I know Christian. He got into a little bit of not, I guess, not really an accident. Kind of, someone hit him from behind, and it was like a shock, and he's like, "Oh!" Pulled over on the side of the road. I placed an order shortly afterwards, but that's what it's like when Christian gets a no sale. He takes it personally. Right? So, anyways, I'm gonna pass it over to Mr. Hogue. So, Christian, whenever you guys, if you don't have pen and paper out, I don't know what to tell you. Right? But Christian, whenever you are ready.
good morning, Vietnam, guys. It is my pleasure to talk with you this morning. If you do not know me already, I am ecstatic to introduce myself. Obviously, I've been with the job for about 10 months. Been very thankful to, of course, be able to hit some of my goals, but really it all starts with closing. And you're probably wondering, closing's at the end. What are you talking about? You got to frame how you want to end with how you start. I'm going to share my screen here, and really I tell all of my people that I'm going to see, what I call my customers, cuz everybody's going to buy. It's a mental thing on your side, but it's also an interpretation on their side. So every single person is a clean page when it comes to, I'll start this here. It's a clean page whenever it comes to a demo. The demo starts when you are on the phone with them. Hello, can I play this here? All right, let me know when you guys can see this full screen. It's kind of lagging here. Just give me a thumbs up if you can. We'll shoot this like an interview. Thumbs up. All right, sweet. So closing classy. The reason why I picked a railroad track here is because there's two forks in the road. You can either choose to close with confidence, or you can choose to close with your legs crossed and your voice a little frail. So let's have some confidence in it, and it's going to start somewhere that we all already know, and it's phoning. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. You're starting everything on the phone. You start to close when you're on the phone, and it's an interpretation from the customer's end. And the closing begins when the contact is created. I'm just going to be super forward about it. It does not matter who you're talking to. I don't care if they're on the Fortune 500 best people in business. It does not matter if it's them or it's your grandma that has one leg. It doesn't matter. It all starts when you're on the phone with them. So, obviously, guys, you can read it here, but the first impression means if you are not able to catch them with the first impression, you may not even be able to get in front of them for the demo. So, the first impression on their end needs to be a happy, comfortable environment. I know you're reading a script. I know that, of course, you are doing exactly what you were told by your manager, but you need to be doing it with a smile. Try to have some personality in between those chunks of lines in the script for phoning. I mean, Kavari does a phenomenal job at it, and I love phoning with him. He loves to immediately when you get on the phone with him, you know it's Kavari. Oh my God, Hey, this is Kavari. It's so nice to talk to you. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much Miss Jones said that you're a party. I can't wait to speak with you. I'm so glad that I have you on the phone here. If you don't know my name, this is really awkward, but my name's Kavari, and I just am excited to talk to you. Did Miss Jones tell you I would be giving you a call? And immediately personalities in there, and that's where it starts. Closing starts in the mentality of you with every customer. So obviously, like I said, you guys can read here, but smile, create personality with the script, create a comfortable, exciting environment. An exciting environment. Benjamin, how do you create an exciting environment? I'm gonna put you on blast here. I see a bookshelf in the back, so I'm assuming you read. So I'll unmute you here, or you can unmute yourself.
Um, I don't know too much about exciting, but I do make it comfortable by just giving people the options of time, place. I do usually uh, have a smile on my face when I go meet people, joke around a little bit before we start the presentation, things like that.
Good. I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head here. I'm glad you came locked in, Benjamin. And I can definitely assure you that Mr. Jackson does the same, not to compare you guys apples to apples, because I know that he's at 40 million in sales, but that's great to hear. And you have to start exactly what Benjamin just did. Create a comfortable environment. You don't have to get them to laugh on the phone. I mean, if you do, that's a plus, but create a comfortable environment. Know that they are going to have a good time, but they're also going to be in their own home with someone that they can trust. So, grand scheme of things, guys, create a comfortable environment. Leave the new customer that you just talked to on the phone with a smile. That's always my goal, and I will challenge every single one of you guys when you phone. Of course, hopefully here in a couple minutes, nobody should be jumping off from the Champs Club call. You should all be phoning directly after here. Make sure that when you book the demo, I cannot wait to see you, Miss Jones. I can't wait to make the best part of your day and see you leave with a smile on your face, as of course I will be when I show up. And I will see you at 6 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and you'll see a text from me about 2 days prior, just making sure that your order for Starbucks is exactly how I have it written down, but I'll see you then. And I allude to that because for me, nobody has to do this. This is just something that I've gained perspective on and better statistics on is I will offer for every single one of my customers or new people that I call, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to make it the best part of your day. And I can promise by that, Miss Jones, not only am I going to bring myself and bring a smile on your face there, but I also am infamous to know that I will bring pastries, coffees, donuts. So I will give you two smiles, and I promise that I'll make it the best part of your day. I have 6 o'clock available on Thursday, and I also have an 8 o'clock available on Thursday. You let me know which may work better and what pastry or coffee you're feeling, because you want to make it that comfortable environment. So really get invested, because at this point of the day, you guys all should know it is your business to build. Our managers are there to coast you in it, but it's your clientele. So treat them how you would want to be treated. And then, of course, guys, it's the mentality of every customer. So this is my mentality every single time. I do not care if they're in a trailer park. I do not care if they are in the hills in Beverly and I have a virtual demo with them and you can see the backdrop of the whole city behind them. It does not matter. Double wide trailer, single trailer. I don't care if they have a bathroom in their house. This is what the goal should be. Every single customer you meet with should be 1,000 CPO, 20 recs. If you get less on one, you should get more on the other. Super forward about it. It does not matter if it ends up being pieces, crush on the recs. It does not matter if it is a Siggy or an ulti, recs should follow suit. You guys should know that you should believe it personally before the customer believes it. Because whether you realize it or not, we can all sit here and record our demos for days and listen back to them. You're going to be like, I thought I was more enthusiastic. I thought I created a more comfortable environment. I wonder how she perceived that now hearing that. Reason for it is because you didn't believe it firsthand. So a lot of times our brain in demos is going to coast. You may be reading the script verbatim, like most of you should. You may be going off the script with illustrations, whatever it may be. But you guys have to create that same enthusiasm that you created on the phone. You got to build it with rapport and back it with your support personally of the product. So, Benjamin, I don't expect you to have at home an ultimate set. If you do, awesome. Keelan, maybe I expect you to have one. Miss Lindhurst, probably expect you to have one. But regardless, every single person that you're meeting with, you got to build that rapport to make them understand personally. I don't care what their backstory looked like. They could have done what God knows. They could have done meth for 30 years and you're meeting with them on their third sober year. You don't know. You got to build that rapport internally to make sure that you guys are on the same page. You understand what their past is, what their baggage is, how the heck they got in this cool house. It could be a double wide trailer. It's a cool house. You got to make sure that you are hyping up the customer, creating that comfortable environment, moving forward in a deep sense. I love to allude to Carson's illustration with rapport. Carson's illustration on rapport, I would argue, is probably the best in our region. He is phenomenal at building rapport beyond the surface. Guys, you guys should all be doing this. You're leaving CPO on the table every single time. You're like only having 10 minutes to talk about catching up with your aunt. I don't care if you know them or you don't. Benjamin, you should be building 30 minutes of rapport. And that's kind of a minimum. I mean, if they're rushing you, it should be like 20 minutes and it should be questions that are so suited in deep, deep stuff that you almost feel like there's no way you can go into the demo. You should be asking them stuff like, hey, if you were in my shoes, if you were 19 years old, what would you do differently? What would you suggest before you got into your 20s? Before you had a family, what was something that you wanted to check off your checklist that you still haven't done today that you would suggest for me? If I can save my coins today because I'm paying for my scholarship and get to go to Istanbul because that was your dream place and your best friend got to go, you should know that. You should know that. You should be writing stuff down. It's another thing to do fruits, meats, and vegetables. Hopefully, you guys are all doing that whenever you get to really understanding your customer on the secondary side when it actually comes to the kitchen instead of just knowing them rapport-wise and who the heck you're looking at. But really, when it comes to rapport, you should know not necessarily what scares them, what they wish they could have done in their past, what's gotten them to where they are. If they have a marriage that's lasted, I don't care, 10 years, what's the secret to that success? Everybody's got a success story. Everybody's got baggage. Find the success, hit on it, learn to love who you're meeting with, and move from there. Your conviction of the product is going to start with them understanding who you are and you understanding who they are. So make sure you guys are hitting on that. Make sure that you guys are consistently alluding to it, and make sure you guys are taking notes. You're doing yourself a disservice if you do not have a pen in hand or pencil. It doesn't matter, but you should be writing down tangible information. From rapport, you should be getting recommendations. This is just a reminder. Hopefully, your manager has told you. If not, make sure that you, of course, are hitting home on that. Whenever you are in your rapport section, you should be asking them, how long have you been in the area? The surface stuff, of course. How many siblings do you have? Who do you like to go entertain with? I love to ask my customers, who do you guys watch the Super Bowl with in rapport? And they're probably like, what the heck? Like, I've known you for like half an hour, Christian. Why are you asking me like who I watched the Super Bowl with? That is so that you can tie in all of their friends throughout the presentation, and you can grab them up in that end section after you close with recommendations. Make sure that you guys are having your rapport seed plant all that you want to talk about in your presentation. Because at the end of the day, I love to say to my customers over the phone, hey, Miss Jones, I really look forward to it. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a presentation. It's really just going to be a conversation. But you guys cannot create a conversation if you do not know the person that's in front of you. And closing, the key to closing is threefold: confidence, the trust that you guys have between each other, and the mentality side of it. So, really, what I'm going to talk about here is, like I said, the two staples. Every single customer you should meet with should have 1,000 CPO tabbed to their name and 20 recommendations that they gave to you. And that starts with you. Now, most everybody in Marietta knows this picture. Hopefully Joe does. I see him smirking over there. Job's not finished. Job is not finished when you get to slide 10. Job is not finished until you're done with recommendations, you leave them with a great feeling, you're out the door and in your vehicle. Job is not finished just by you talking through the script, guys. You got to have enthusiasm. Take some personality and really dump it on the customer on how excited you are about the cutlery that you're creating in conversation. Because for them, they just may walk into the kitchen and may grab a knife, maybe spend 90 seconds, leave the kitchen, don't think much about it. They should walk into the kitchen every time they walk into the kitchen for the next 6 months and think of you. It might sound creepy, but you should be so excited. I know that Troy, he does virtual demos all the freaking time, and he crushes them out of the water. He is as classy as it gets. I should name this talk Troy Closing because he is classy in everything he does in the presentation. But he's also super excited whenever he is on his virtual demo. Why do you think he does so well with his virtual demos? He creates rapport. He's excited about the product. And he closes with confidence. He wears glasses, guys. I'm not saying everybody buy glasses, but everybody thinks you're more classy when you buy glasses. How can you make your customer think that you're wearing glasses and that you have all the information about everything you're talking about and you have all the confidence to close them on something that you personally believe? I will go into every single demo. It doesn't matter if they cook 2 times a week, if they cook 6 times in a week. It doesn't matter if they're cooking for 2. It doesn't matter if they're cooking for 6. Whenever I'm talking with somebody, I'm going to start and explaining the basic set, which is the homemaker. I'm going to piecemeal the family set in and why 70% of all Cutco owners end up getting it. And then I'm going to tie it back at the end by opening the door. Hey, would you guys like to hear why 70% of all Cutco owners get the family set? Then you drop down from the family set, but it's really because everybody gets the family set. You should have the confidence in that. So then once you get to the basic set in tandem at really the closing part, if you didn't close the family set, you do it with so much confidence that you're like, awesome. I'm so excited for you to get it in that sexy red color. Visa, Amex, MasterCard. Is this the best address to get it to? You do it with so much confidence. You can package it how you like, but you don't go, hey, Miss Lindhurst, I'm really excited. I can't wait for you to have your Cutco. Would this be the best address, or do you think that you have like a business address? And see how timid I am? No one's gonna buy from me. Close with confidence, you guys. Close with confidence. Job is not finished until you punch the credit card in, get your recommendations, and leave them with a better feeling that you started. So I'm going to really hit that home on every single demo that I do. And I'm going to give you guys some happy CPO notes. Some stuff that I've really gathered is next level, next gravy, as of course some people would say in the Marriott office. But really, you guys, this is some stuff that's just gold, just major nuggets falling off of a golden tree. Like I've learned this from Justin Ford, from Ray Reed, Matt Tushin, all of the CPO greats that I'm sure most of us see on our sales reports. So all of which are in our Coastal Division, in case you did not know. And first of which, I'm a person before a salesperson, so I'm going to try and save you money first, if that's okay with you, Miss Jones. Major note. Mic drop in itself. That's massive. If you can create that trust and rapport, and then you just piecemeal that in, that's just a reminder like, hey, I'm here to get you everything you're going to need when you walk in the kitchen, and I'm here to save you the most money while we're at it. That's another trust that you can't create without walking it out. So next, guys, you're going to see here, second note, a lot of people that haven't had the opportunity to, of course, have Cutco yet, you want to compare it to the comparables. I'll walk in, I'll make sure whenever I'm walking in the kitchen, say it's a really nice house, say they have all Wolf appliances. Awesome. Compare it to that. Compare it to iPhone. A lot of people get a MacBook. A lot of people get an iPhone. A lot of people get a tablet or an iPad. A lot of people get Apple Watch. People like to do it together. Piecemeal that Cutco kitchen in there. But really, Cutco's like an iPhone that lasts forever. You can pass it down to your favorite person with no receipt necessary. Joe, did you know that? When you have a Joe Jr., you can pass it down to your Cutco. All your Cutco. You know, Joe Jr. doesn't need a receipt. He's good. He's set for life.
I'll give it to
So
him.
exactly. So happy to hear that, but make sure that they know that. You know, they don't know that unless you say that, because I mean, we don't sell in stores, so how else are they going to get the information? You're the Cutco guideline. They're going to think of Cutco. They're not going to think of Mr. Jackson. They're not going to think of Scott Ninnis. They're not going to think of your manager. They're going to think of you. You're the extension of Cutco that they are always going to walk away with. So make sure that they know all of the pages that have been gone through with the information that's in your head. Make sure that you guys are on the same page. And then since we are the law and own K-Bar, I'm going to give Lincoln a fully legal haircut. We all have the same exact presentation here. Sweeney loves to do this, but I like to write at the end. So whenever you're talking about American made, American proud, all that good stuff, when everybody talks about America, like being so proud, like you get your classic redneck. A lot of times people don't know that K-Bar is associated with Cutco. Piecemeal it early, because that gives them the credibility that backs the trust that you just started with rapport. If they don't know what K-Bar is, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal to say, hey, we are the official knife of the U.S. military, U.S. law, U.S. fire. We have the official knives, literally, of like our Marines, Navy, Army. Like, walk that out. Have you heard of K-Bar, Miss Jones? Oh, that's fine. I'm sure your brother has. Well, it's no big deal. We also have hunting knives, all that other stuff too. So don't sweat it. But we'll kind of talk about it. And since we are the law, I'm going to give Lincoln a fully legal haircut here. And you're probably like, what the heck? How are you giving Lincoln a haircut? He's not even alive. We got pennies on deck. So have that casual conversation to make sure that they're continually smiling, but really have fun with it. That's something that Mr. Ford, the infamous J40, likes to use. And then if you're looking at it as a purchase, it is expensive. If you're looking at it as an investment, you will use for 30, 40, 50 years. It is 100% worth it. Closing tack that Mr. Tushin uses, as well as Ray Reid uses in their own vernacular. So just wanted to leave you guys with a couple cool nuggets, but really just to wrap it up here, everybody should have their phone jam script ready to go, prepped. On second to that, or on deck from that, they should have Vector Impact loaded in with at minimum 10 calls. Guys, it's prime time calling, but really you're closing right now. You're going to make your calls and you're going to be laying the groundworks of your close. So be intentional with that. Take some pride in that. And let's crush the phone here. It's my pleasure speaking with you guys. I'm going to pass it back to Mr. Allen.
Thank you so much, Keelan. Keelan, I know you're going to take a second, get the phone jam board ready, but I would love to hear, before we make calls, I'd just love to hear one or two just quick nuggets, quick takeaways, something that stood out to you. Glasses for me. I'm gonna buy some glasses. You just look like Troy, all right? Buy some glasses. But we'd love to hear one or two quick nuggets. We referenced Ben, but Benjamin, what was something that stood out to you? And I'll go to Joe.
Probably just adding on to that rapport, just making it more comfortable for them, the whole conversation. Some of the quotes, especially that investment one, I think that one really stood out to me, because a lot of people do just see it as a purchase instead of an investment over the rest of their lives and then their next generation's life and so on.
Cool. Awesome, Joe.
Yeah, I was gonna say the quotes were the biggest thing for me. Like that first one and the investment one. I feel like the I'm a person before a salesman. It makes them kind of trust you more. You're just not someone just trying to sell them knives that don't do anything. You're like actually trying to do something beneficial for them too.
Cool. Awesome. And guys, today I know it wasn't too much technical stuff. He gave you a little bit of some quotes at the end, right? But the thing is, we're gonna have Christian speak, right? Part two, right? A full longer talk on Wednesday. Okay. But before Christian teaches you a lot of the stuff that he's gonna do on Wednesday, right? You gotta have the right mentality, right? And building that. Sweeney.
Kind of just on rapport a little bit. Rapport is huge, as he said. Basically, you're leaving CPO on the table by not real building rapport because if they don't trust everything that you're saying from the beginning, then why would you expect them to buy at all if they just think the whole time you're talking nonsense? So really, what like Carson, as you said, he alludes to this. He's like, build a friend, make a friend with every demo. That's my go-to. I want to make a friend, but
Yeah.
really just being a person before a salesperson. I know we were just talking about it. You don't want them to try to trust you more. No, you want to be like, look, I'm giving to you, I'm being vulnerable with you, you're being vulnerable with me. You want them to trust you. Like that's like the standard at the end of the day.
Awesome. And then one last thing, Christian, that's personally stood out for me. It's not really a note, it's a nugget, but I want you guys to understand, for those of you in Marietta, you hear this, but whenever Joe Christian phone jams, I give him smack every time. But the customer asks, "Is this the infamous Miss Susie or Christian? What's the word you say? Is it
When I talk about who recommended them, I'm like, hey, Miss Jones, this is Christian Hogg. Not sure my name rings a bell, but I am very good friends with the infamous Katie Weller. Did she happen to tell you I was giving you a call, or?
And you could just tell that he's excited to like talk to them and create that comfortable environment. He does literally say every single time, "I'm gonna bring coffee, sweets, what you got." So, but anyways, guys, it is it's 8:03 Central Time. I'm on Central Time. 9:03 Eastern. Okay, so guys, it is right now. It's perfect time, right? Also, guys, as well, it's holiday weekend. Okay, one little tip I have for you guys as you're making your calls: best way to handle any objection, choice before it comes up. I know Troy's in Brazil, and like Memorial Day is just another Monday. But a lot of your clients, Troy, are here in America. So just make sure when you're saying, "Hey, Miss Jones, I know this weekend is Memorial Day, but I want to do, or sorry, and I want to do X amount of appointments by blank. Can I stop by this time or this time? Hey, Miss Jones, on Monday, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you with your Memorial Day like barbecue. Like we're gonna cook it together." That's something I always used to love to say and kind of help out there. So, Ron, if you want to stop the recording, you can.